Randa is a small crafting business that I started from a hobby. I started sewing about 8 years ago when I was in college. I started just messing around with the sewing machine, making my Halloween costumes. Well, I graduated college and I needed a hobby. I started with making a quilt, and then after I finished the quilt for myself, I wanted to try smaller things, and I just accumulated so many smaller items. I was like, why don't I take on craft shows? And that's really how Randa got started. So my mother actually came up with the name Randa. When I first started, I was MC quilting because the very first thing that I chose to sew was a quilt for myself. And when I wanted to venture out and to do craft shows and make smaller items, my mother suggested I change my name to Randa. What makes me stand out compared to other sewers would be the fact that I'm a younger generation of sewer. I get ladies in my tent all the time that are surprised that I'm so young and I like to sew. I tend to pick fabrics that I love and other people that are close to my age also love. My sewing room is currently a dining room in my home. The time it takes to creating one piece really depends on the piece. Most of the pieces that I'm currently sewing, I can basically do blindfolded because I've sewn them so many times. My favorite part about running the business would have to be when the customers come into my tent and they get as excited as I do when I'm sewing my items. The motivation I get to sew is really just curiosity. If I see a pattern somewhere on the internet, I will print it out and I will just dive right in and see if I can make it happen. I get my inspiration from looking on Pinterest. If I see a fun little item to make, I go for it. I just go for it. So I just enjoy doing it when I get home from work, and I enjoy going to craft shows. I would describe Randa in one word as being colorful. I see myself just continuing doing craft shows, maybe turning into a small fabric store. If you want to follow me online, you can follow me on Instagram @Randa or on Facebook @Randa.